The way we describe the Creator reflects how we see ourselves. When you think of God, the first image that comes to mind is one of fear and shame. It means you are mostly immersed in fear and shame. However, if God brings to mind love, compassion, and tenderness, then you possess these qualities abundantly. Walking the path of truth is a matter of the heart, not the mind. Let your heart be your guide, not your intellect. Be among those who know their own selves, not those who erase them. The Quran can be read on 4 levels. The first is the apparent meaning. The next is the hidden meaning. The third is the hidden aspect of the hidden. The 4th level is so profound that words fall short in describing it. You can find the attributes of God in every particle of the universe, for He is not confined to mosques, churches, or synagogues. He is present everywhere at all times, just as no one has seen God. No one has died by seeing Him. Those who find Him remain with Him forever. The chemistry of reason is different from the chemistry of love. Reason is cautious, stepping carefully and warning. Be careful. Love, on the other hand, says, let go and dive in. Reason does not easily break. Love, however, may wear itself out and become exhausted. Yet treasures and riches are found among ruins. What exists is in a broken heart. Most of the conflicts, prejudices, and hostilities in this world stem from language. Be yourself and do not get too caught up in words. In the realm of love, language loses its significance. The lover becomes speechless. You cannot discover truth by staying alone in isolation, only hearing your own echo. You can only see yourself fully in the reflection of another person. No matter what happens to you, do not fall into despair. Even if all doors are closed, eventually a hidden path will open that no one else knows about. Even if you cannot see it now, there are many heavenly gardens behind narrow passages. Be grateful. It is easy to be thankful when you get what you want. A Sufi is one who can be grateful even when their wishes are not fulfilled. Patience is not just standing still and waiting. It is having foresight. What is patience? It is being able to imagine the rose while looking at the thorn, and the day while looking at the night. Lovers of God absorb patience as sweet as honey, understanding that just as the moon requires time to go from crescent to full, so does patience. No matter which direction you travel, east, west, north, or south, consider every journey as an inward journey. The person who travels within ultimately circles the earth. A midwife knows that there is no birth without labor pains, and no passage from the womb to the baby without them. To give birth to a new you, be prepared for difficulties and trials. Love is a journey. Every traveler on this journey, whether they want it or not, changes completely. No one delves into this path without undergoing transformation. In this world, there are more false guides and pretenders than there are stars in the sky. A true guide directs you to look within and discover your own inner beauty, not to idolize them. Instead of resisting the changes that truth presents, surrender to them. Let life flow with you, not against you. Do not worry that your order will be disrupted or that your life will be turned upside down. How do you know that the underside of your life won't be better than the top? God is constantly engaged in completing us both internally and externally. Each of us is an unfinished work of art. Every event we experience and every hardship we endure is designed to correct our deficiencies. The Creator deals with our imperfections individually because humanity aims for perfection. It is easy to love God, who is perfect. The challenge is to love flawed human beings, with all their faults and virtues. Remember, you can only truly understand and love something to the extent that you love it. Therefore, without embracing others and loving them for the sake of the Creator, you cannot truly understand or love them properly. The true impurity is not external but internal. It is not in the outer appearance but in the heart. Any external stain, no matter how bad it looks, can be washed away with water. The only filth that cannot be washed away is the envy, and ill will that cling to the heart. The entire universe, with all its layers and complexities, is hidden within the human being. The devil is not a terrible creature waiting to seduce us from outside, but a voice within. Seek the devil within yourself, not in others. And remember, the one who knows their own self knows their Lord. A person who only deals with themselves and not others will ultimately recognize the Creator as their reward. If you expect respect, attention, or love from others, you first owe it to yourself in that order. It is impossible for someone who does not love themselves to be loved by others. If you love yourself and yet the world sends you thorns, rejoice. It means that roses are coming soon. Thinking about where the end of the road will lead is a futile effort. You are only responsible for thinking about the first step you take. The rest will naturally follow. We are all distinguished by different qualities. If God had wanted everyone to be exactly the same, He would have made it so. Disrespecting differences and imposing your own truths on others is disrespecting the sacred order of truth. A true lover of God can turn a tavern into a place of prayer. But someone addicted to alcohol would turn the same place into a tavern. What we do in this life is determined by our intentions, not by appearances or labels. Life is like a colorful and entrusted toy handed to us. Some take it so seriously that they cry and become distraught over it. Others pick it up, quickly toy with it, break it, and discard it. Either they place excessive value on it, or they do not value it at all. Avoid extremes. A Sufi is neither in excess nor in deficiency, but always in moderation. Since humans are the noblest of creatures, they should move with dignity, remembering that they are the vicegerents of God on earth with every step they take. Even if a person falls into poverty, is slandered, imprisoned, or even captured, they should still act with the dignity, courage, and serenity of a vicegerent. Do not seek heaven and hell only in the future. Both are present here and now. Whenever you manage to love someone unconditionally, without expectations or bargains, you are in heaven. Whenever you engage in conflict, hatred, or envy, you immediately fall into hell. The universe is a single entity, one reality. Everything and everyone are connected by invisible threads. Never take revenge or harm someone, especially someone weaker than you. Remember that a single person's sorrow on the other side of the world can affect all of humanity, and a single person's happiness can bring joy to everyone. This world is like a mountain. It echoes back to you whatever you call out to it. If you speak good words, they will echo back as good. If you speak ill, the ill will echo back. So, if someone speaks badly of you, for 40 days and nights, speak only kind words about them. At the end of the 40 days, you will see everything change. If your heart changes, the world changes. The past is a cloud of mist over our minds. The future is merely a curtain of dreams. We cannot know our future, nor can we change our past. A Sufi always lives in the truth of the present moment. Destiny means that our lives are preordained. Therefore, to bow your head and say, what can we do? This is how life is ignorance. Destiny provides the route, but not the twists and turns. The path is set, but all the twists and turns are up to the traveler. Therefore, you are neither the master of your life nor helpless against it. A true Sufi, even if criticized, slandered, gossiped about, or falsely accused by others, does not speak a single bad word about anyone. A Sufi does not see faults, they cover them. To approach God, one must have a heart as soft as velvet. Every person learns to soften in some way. Some may go through an accident, a deadly illness, separation, or material loss. We all face trials that give us the opportunity to soften our hearts. But some understand the wisdom in these trials and become softer, while others unfortunately become even harder. Remove all veils between you and God so you can connect with Him with pure love. Have rules, but do not use them to exclude or judge others. Especially avoid idolizing idols, my friend. And remember, the one who prays with arrogance and vanity only worships their own ego, while everyone else is trying to become something in this world. Be nothing. Let your destination be non-existence. Just as the value of a pot lies not in its outer shape, but in its inner emptiness, a person's strength should not be in their ego, but in the awareness of nothingness. Surrendering to the divine does not mean weakness or passivity. On the contrary, such surrender requires immense strength. The surrendered person no longer struggles in turbulent and whirlpool-like waters. They reside in a state of calm assurance. In this life, we can only advance through contrasts. The believer must confront their own doubts, while the skeptic must face their own faith. A person progresses step by step until they reach the state of the perfect human. They mature only to the extent they embrace these contrasts. Do not fear deception or scheming. If someone is plotting against you or trying to harm you, remember that God is also plotting against them. Those who dig pits for others will fall into those very pits themselves. This system operates on the principle of reciprocity. No good deed goes unrewarded, and no harm goes unaddressed. Nothing happens without God's knowledge. Just believe in this. God is a watchmaker who works with such precision that everything happens at the exact right moment. Not a second early, not a second late. Every person has their time to fall in love and their time to die. It is never too late to ask yourself if you're ready to change your life and transform yourself. No matter how old you are or what has happened to you, it is always possible to renew yourself completely. If even a single day is a mere repetition of the previous one, it is a waste. One should renew themselves in every moment and breathe. To be born into a new life, one must die before dying. Although points may constantly change, the whole remains the same. For every thief that leaves this world, another thief is born. For every honest person who dies, another honest person takes their place. The whole never deteriorates. Everything remains in its place, at its center. Yet from day to day, nothing stays the same. For every Sufi who dies, another Sufi is born. A life lived without love is lived in vain. Whether you should pursue divine love or worldly, celestial, or corporeal love is a question not worth asking. Distinctions only create more divisions. Love needs no attributes or labels. Love is a world unto itself. You are either in its very center or outside it, yearning for it.